Hello, Year 4. I hope you are all very, very well. Miss Martin and I and Miss Feeney miss you all a lot. School definitely is not as much fun without the children in here. I hope that you're enjoying your home learning and you're not finding anything too difficult. Don't forget to keep sending your work into the Year 4 email address so that we can see all your great learning. This is the reading for the week beginning the 27th of April. Hogarth began to run. He ran and ran. Home, home. The Iron Man had come back. So he got home at last, and gasping for breath, he told his dad, an Iron Man, a giant. His father frowned. His mother grew pale. His little sister began to cry. His father took down his double-barreled gun. He believed his son. He went out. He locked the door. He got in his car. He drove to the next farm. But that farmer laughed. He was a fat red man with a fat red-mouthed laugh. When he stopped laughing, his eyes were red too. An Iron Man? Nonsense, he said. So Hogarth's father got back in his car. Now it was dark and it had begun to rain. He drove to the next farm. That farmer frowned. He believed. Tomorrow, he said, we must see what he is. This Iron Man. His feet will have left tracks in the earth. So Hogarth's father again got back into his car. But as he turned the car in the yard, he saw a strange thing in the headlamps. Half a tractor lay there, just half, chopped clean off, the other half missing. He got out of his car, and the other farmer came to look too. The tractor had been bitten off. There were big teeth marks in the steel. No explanation. The two men looked at each other. They were puzzled and afraid. What could have bitten the tractor in two? There, in the yard, in the rain, in the night, while they had been talking inside the house. The father ran in and bolted his door. Hogarth's father jumped into his car and drove off into the night and the rain as fast as he could homeward. The rain poured down. Hogarth's father drove hard. The headlights lit up the road and bushes. Suddenly, two headlamps in a tall treetop at the roadside ahead. Headlamps in a treetop? How? Hogarth's father slowed, peering up to see what the lights might be, up there in the treetop. As he slowed, a giant iron foot came down in the middle of the road, a foot as big as a single bed. And the headlamps came down closer, and a giant hand reached down towards the windshield. The Iron Man. Hogarth's father put on speed. He aimed his car at the foot. Crash! He knocked the foot out of the way. He drove on faster and faster, and behind him, on the road, a clanging, clattering boom went up, as if an iron skyscraper had collapsed. The Iron Giant, with his foot knocked from under him, had toppled over. And so, Hogarth's father got home safely. But next morning, all the farmers were shouting with anger. Where were their tractors, their earth diggers, their ploughs, their harrows? From every farm in the region, all the steel and iron farm machinery had gone. Where to? Who had stolen it all? There was a clue. Here and there lay half a wheel, or half an axle, or half a mudguard, carved with giant tooth marks where it had been bitten off. How had it been bitten off? Steel bitten off? What had happened? There was another clue. From farm to farm, over the soft soil of the fields, went giant footprints, each one the size of a single bed. The farmers, in a frightened, silent, amazed crowd, followed the footprints, and at every farm the footprints visited, all the metal machinery had disappeared. Finally, the footprints led back up to the top of the cliff, where the little boy had seen the Iron Man appear the night before, when he was fishing. The footprints led right to the cliff top, and all the way down the cliff were torn marks on the rocks, where a huge iron body had slid down. Below, the tide was in. The grey, empty, moving tide. But the Iron Man had gone back into the sea. So the furious farmers began to shout. The Iron Man had stolen all their machinery. Had he eaten it? Anyway, he had taken it. It had gone. So what if he came again? What would he take next time? Cows? Houses? People? They would have to do something. They couldn't call in the police or the army because nobody would believe them about this iron monster. They would have to do something for themselves. So what did they do? Okay, so that's all that you need for this week. And I hope you enjoy all of your lessons. Goodbye.